I'm here in Krakow with Elizabeth Gabay. She's sitting over there.
I'm coming.
And we're trying to introduce to you this delicious rosé. It's named Karakter.
Which we tasted in Romania last week at a rosé competition. And we're now at a rosé competition in Poland.
And we're going to present this rosé to the people here who tasted already about 60 or 120 rosés.
Yes.
Wondering whether they like it or not and what they think about this rosé. So, see you.
At a competition in Romania for Romanian rosé, where 70 wines were selected down to 16, 8, 5, top 3, and it comes from the hills of Delumare, which are alluvial limestone, clay, gravel hills to the north of Bucharest, so quite a warm, hot, southern exposed climate. And so what we would like to do is ask you all to taste a bit, and Anne will go round and maybe film some of your responses that after you have tasted so many rosés in this competition. This at the moment is a Romanian prize. The conditions of the competition is that the price is between 5 and 12 euros a bottle, and that it is bone dry. So, and this has no Romanian grape varieties, it's an international grape variety. And I think Justina is looking for glasses.
Yes, we are
Hard,
looking for
and
glasses,
yeah.
okay.
So please do not drink it out of your beer glass. And we will pass it round. So it's made actually by there's a team of winemakers who are enormous fun. I don't think I've laughed quite so much at a tasting for a long time. Full of enthusiasm, full of inspiration, and very much part of the new revolution in Romanian wine of moving away from the duty-free Dracula types of wine to wines that are very much on the international scale. So.
Thank you.
But it's really terrific.
Would you like the rosé?
Yes. It's pink. I think
It's pink. So do you think it's a typical rosé?
No, it's nicer than a typical
In what way?
rosé. It's not as sweet.
Okay, so it's the bone dryness is good.
It's dry, it has a nice amount of fruit, not too much. So it's more refined than many rosés.
Is that because it's more like a white wine? There's a third white grape varieties.
It's more aromatic.
Lovely aromatics. So what sort of aromatics are you getting on this wine?
But there is a lot of red fruit, right?
Red
Yeah,
fruit.
for me it's got that really lovely,
And aromatic herbs too.
I like those leafy characters of Cabernet, but it's not unripe Cabernet. It's,
No.
it is in it, and that's what makes the nose interesting. The texture.
Meaning a smoked paprika.
It tastes like Pinot Gris, but I've had Pinot Gris that are actually rosés if you leave them on the skins a long time.
I think this had some skin contact.
Yeah.
I wonder, so for me, one of the things I think is quite interesting is we've had a lot of single varietal rosés in the competition, and this shows the strength of a blend, that you get the leafiness of the Cabernet, the black fruit of the Syrah, the texture of the Pinot Gris melded together on this wine. And nice fresh acidity, it's a very hot area. She can always edit out anything that isn't any good. So, what do you think of this Romanian rosé?
Let me try it, okay? Because
Okay.
I was talking to my friends, and actually the profile has lots of flowers, lots of peonies and roses that actually like in rosé. because it gives me this personal pleasure of finding a female,
very feminine
rosé, which is sometimes good. Not always, because sometimes you seek of more freshness or more texture, whatever. But in this case, I like it. I like very much the mouth, but what I would like in this wine more, I would like more citrus, more citrus freshness. Overall, it's the wine that I think I will open the bottle and even I will drink one bottle by myself.
That's a pretty good sign. Pretty good sign. And you were enjoying this wine as well. So, any comments you would like to add?
No, it's a big, fleshy, juicy kind of a wine. I think it's a little bit of acidity, but just enough. With Pinot Gris, oftentimes you don't get a lot of acidity. So, and I really like the Cabernet characters poking through. Syrah, I'm not really picking up any Syrah in there, but I'm sure it's doing something in the next.
I'm just wondering whether the Syrah is that slightly middle of the palate, black fruit that's coming through, giving a bit of structure. For me,
Could be.
Because it's after all, it's a warm climate, Syrah. It's not a fresh.
It is a very warm climate, yes. So, but I mean, they have a bit of altitude and they have a bit of northerly exposure on some of the hills to give freshness. So let's move round.
Yeah, I can tell you that from the commercial point of view, this wine is a pink diamond, really. Well, it's very big, it's very bold, but I think it's a bit too much for me. I would prefer to have this rosé more, maybe not like a Riesling style, but more fresh, as slightly more timid than this very noisy thing here.
So just sort of interesting that this sort of opinion, for me, I find the richness of the Pinot Gris and that slightly phenolic texture makes it a more gastronomic style of rosé for me, giving it greater weight, which is what I particularly like about it.
But the sommelier.
Yeah, I think actually I agree with Łukasz. I like it because it's like very fruity. It's like a quite powerful rosé. Maybe not powerful, but very juicy, very fruity, dry, even like a peach, like some red fruits.
The bottle on your own when your husband's not looking. Yes, okay.
And I think it's like somewhere in the middle. So people like which like the fire style of the rosé wine may enjoy it. So I think it's like very good example of rosé, like very good for the restaurant as an aperitif, as especially for the summer wine.
The other hand, we need to remember also the price of this wine. It's a very accessible price. It's not a $100 rosé, which we know that exists, and okay, we can fancy them. But still, this is very good price. It's a good price rosé. So, and now we are with the temperature problem because it's very hot summer, July day. We are just before the storm, and the wine is quickly losing the good temperature.
Yes.
If this wine will be a little bit fresher, I think it will still show much more that it's in this second when we are retasting it. But after all, it's a very nice wine.
And I should say that we have all just tasted 50 wines in the competition, so our palates are really
destroyed,
slightly tired, but we are still enjoying this wine. Joachim, would you like to comment on the rosé?
Should I make a comment as a wine taster, professional wine taster, or my personal opinion?
Your personal opinion.
It's not my style.
Fair enough.
But otherwise, I agree with all what was said. It's a very well done wine, very commercial, very successful, well balanced, very good. And I would get a high medal for me.
It's depending on the style.
Yeah, for me, I quite like this temperature. I feel it's brought out more of the flavour, but that's my preference.
I think it ticks all the boxes. As for a nice, refreshing rosé that you want to drink during summer, it ticks all the boxes. So it's a very good wine, but not outstanding.
Okay.
Okay.
For me, I think it's actually quite a complex wine. I think it changes all the time. Sometimes I'm thinking it's a little red wine, sometimes it becomes more white wine dominated, and then it goes back to being a little more red wine, and it has that tannic quality underneath it. That's the thing that it is, after I have the acidity and the juiciness of the fruit, suddenly after that, then the tannin comes back in.
Very mouth-watering, very sort of,
Okay. Well.
Any other comments? Before we shut up and you can have beer.
And dinner, lunch.
Enough reparative rosés now.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Never enough.
May I have the last of the rosé?
Of course, yes.
I find it delicious.
I do.
And as Paul said, it seemed to change. I actually liked it less cold. I think it had more character, less cold.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not agree that it needed to be colder. I think colder it lost the richness of the wine. No, I don't know what is the alcohol.
How high is the alcohol?
You've got the bottle.
13.5.
Yeah. It's ripeness, not alcohol, isn't it?
Yeah. And even though a lot of guys had the soup with yogurt, which was kind of, mouth-filling, we still could feel and smell all the fruit and acidity. It's really nice.
For those not interested, here is the sticker that it got for being the #1 rosé at the competition.